Hello again. So I had to stop the last one because we were running out of time. I'm trying to make these around 15 minutes so they'll post on YouTube, right? So we're almost done. We left off where all the drama is just spinning out of control. And Puck just said that he's really enjoying this drama. And now Lysander and Demetrius took out their swords and they're going to have a little sword fighting duel because they're so mad at each other. Okay, so they drew their swords. Demetrius gestured toward a nearby clearing. So he's saying, come over here, because remember, this takes place in a forest. So he's saying, let's go over here where there's not so many trees and we can sword fight. Oberon turned to Puck. So King Oberon, king of the fairies, turned to Puck, his assistant or his servant, and said, you seest these lovers seek a place to fight. Therefore, dim and overcast the night. Lead these testy rivals so astray as one come not within another's way. So Oberon is telling Puck to use his magical sprightly powers and make it nighttime. So that they won't be able to see each other anymore, and they'll be able to fix everything. Because the king is very worried that these two will end up fighting and hurting each other. And he wanted to mess with his wife, the queen, because they were in a little fight. But he doesn't want to mess with these other people. He doesn't think it's fair. The king produced a sprig of herb, an antidote for Puck to squeeze in Lysander's eyes when the angry suitor stopped to rest. Leaving Puck to his labor, Oberon went off to find Titania. So he thinks all of this is going to be fixed if they just put a cure to the magic petals, flower petals, into Lysander's eyes, right? And now Oberon is walking away to go find his wife. Puck led the young Athenians on a merry chase through the darkened woods. He spoke first with Demetrius' voice, goading Lysander in one direction. So now Puck is pretending to have Demetrius' voice. So he sounds like Demetrius, and he's getting Lysander in one direction of the forest. Then he flew to Demetrius and egged him on using Lysander's voice. So then he switched and flew to Demetrius, and sounding like Lysander, he's saying, oh, come over here, come over here. So he's having them go to different areas so that they're not close enough to battle. The men grew weary, so very tired. At last Puck brought them to a clearing to rest near each other. He drew Hermia and Helena to that spot too. As the foursome slept, Puck anointed Lysander's eyes with the herb he got from the king. So he put the herb into Lysander's eyes, the one that would cure him. And they're all asleep kind of in the same area, right? The sprite saying, now Jack shall have Jill, naught shall go ill, and all shall be well. So he's saying this little song, maybe it's a little charm or something, where he's saying everything's going to go back to the way it should be. Puck went to report to his master. The king was spying on Titania and Bottom. A magnificent crown of flowers encircled Bottom's donkey ears. The foolish weaver was having a grand time ordering around the queen's fairy attendants, so her little servants, I guess. He sent one to fetch him honey and made another to scratch his shaggy head. So he's using Titania's servants to do things for him. So he's having one go get him honey. He's having another one scratch his head for him. So he's using them. I must be a barber's, for methinks I am marvelous hairy about the face, Bottom declares. I'm not sure what he means by that. I must be a barber's. Barber's is someone who cuts hair. I don't know. Oh, I guess, okay, basically what he's trying to say is he notices how hairy his face is, which obviously he has a donkey's head, right? But I don't think he's still aware that he has a donkey's head. So now he's noticing that his face is a little hairy, which, because donkeys have a hairy face. As Titania curled herself around Bottom and they fell off to sleep, the queen declared, oh, how I love thee, how I dote on thee. So she's just saying how much she loves him. Oberon produced another sprig of the herbal antidote. I do begin to pity her, he admitted to Puck. So now he feels bad for the queen. The queen explained that he had met Titania earlier and taunted her about her love for the donkey-headed mortal. She had begged his patience and readily given up the human child he wanted as his page. Aww, so now Oberon is saying that while she was under this curse, right, of the petal juice in her eyes and is in love with Bottom, Oberon came over to her and was talking to her and making fun of Bottom, and it really hurt her feelings because she thinks she's in love with him. And to make him stop, she said that King Oberon could use her friend's son as his page, which is what they were arguing about in the first place, right, is that she didn't want him using the little boy as his page. So King Oberon now is just realizing he took advantage of her, and it's not fair. Okay, now Oberon crept forward and squeezed the herb into the queen's eyes. So he decided to give her the antidote so that she won't be in love with Bottom. When Titania awoke, her passion for Bottom seemed like a hazy dream, and her love for Oberon was rekindled. At the king's command, Puck removed the donkey's head from Bottom, who slept on blissfully. So Puck also took away Bottom's donkey head, so bye-bye donkey ears. He's no longer a donkey. I need to fix his hair. And she is no longer in love with him. Alright. Okay. And now she's in love with Oberon again, okay? Okay, I think I've been reading for too long. Okay, the royal fairies and their followers then fled before the sun rose. So the fairy king and queen and all their followers, all their servants and Puck, they all went somewhere else. Dawn brought Duke Theseus's wedding day. Oh, so the next day now, and it is the Duke's wedding to Hippolyta. And remember, at the beginning of the story, Duke Theseus told Lysander and Hermia, the Duke told Hermia that she had to make a decision about who she would marry by the time he got married. Oh my gosh, Sammy. So their time's up, so she has to figure out what she's gonna do, right? He and his bride led an early morning hunting party, which included Hermia's father. As they rode through the wood, Hermia's father spotted his daughter asleep on the ground, alongside Lysander, Demetrius, and Helena. He was outraged, so he's very angry. Is this not the day that Hermia should give answer of her choice? Theseus asked. The Duke ordered his huntsmen to waken the foursome with their horns. Lysander tried to explain how they came to be there, but Hermia's father cut him off. I demand justice, he cried. They would have stolen away. I say Hermia must marry Demetrius. Demetrius scrambled to his feet. So the king is realizing that if they hadn't just caught them all right now, they would have run away and got married. And he didn't want them to get married. He wanted Hermia to marry Demetrius, right? But now Demetrius scrambled to his feet. My lord, he appealed to the Duke. So he's talking to the Duke. I know not by what power, but my love for Hermia has melted as the snow. He reached for Helena's hand and helped her up. Now, the object and the pleasure of mine eye is only Helena. So he's saying, I don't really love Hermia anymore, actually. I really love Helena now. And Lysander was given the antidote. So this should be gone too. Hermia looked at Lysander uncertainly. She'd had such a vivid dream about losing his love. But Lysander's gaze was steadfast and loving, and who could fault a person for how he behaved in a dream? Hermia reached for Lysander's hand. They rose together. So Hermia is remembering, she's thinking, that's so weird, because I actually remember Lysander being in love with Helena. Like in a dream, right? Because she's thinking of when, you know, the night before when they were given that love potion, petal juice. But she's happy that he loves her now. Oh, so this is now both ways. Both ways. It's not just from her. Okay. Okay. Hermia's father opened his mouth to protest, but Theseus silenced him. It was the Duke's wedding day, and he had made his decision. I will overbear your will, he told Hermia's father. So he's saying, the Duke Theseus is saying, it's my wedding day. I'm not going to listen to Hermia's father because it's my wedding day, and I want to do what I want to do. And he's the Duke, so I think he has more power. I will overbear your will, he told Hermia's father. In the temple, side by side with us, these two couples shall eternally be knit. So he's basically saying they'll get married alongside with me. Lysander lifted Hermia into the air and kissed her. Helena melted into Demetrius' arms. Hermia's father sputtered in anger, but he couldn't disobey the Duke. That day, amidst much fanfare, the three couples were married. So they were married, these guys were married, and these guys were married. So we'll draw little wedding rings, okay? So married, married. Oh, that was ugly. Okay. Whatever. And married. Okay. The feasting and merriment lasted late into the evening. The merriest moments provided by Bottom, the workmen, and their lamentable comedy. So, I guess Bottom and his workmen, that play that they were doing, that comedy that they were all practicing, they performed it at the Duke's wedding, which is also Demetrius' and Helena's wedding, and Hermia and Lysander's wedding. At midnight, the Duke's servants snuffed the candles, and the newlyweds went up to bed. Sly Puck crept into the castle. Oberon and Titania soon followed with their fairy band. They sent their sprites to bless the lovers and all the castle's inhabitants, so everyone who lives in the castle. The king and queen of the fairies wanted to bless them. The fairy king and queen themselves blessed the bridal bed of Theseus and Hippolyta. Then Titania and Oberon clasped hands and joined together in their own dance of eternal love. Hand in hand with fairy grace, will we sing and bless this place. So it ended on a good note, right? Ended with happily ever after. So we're done. The end of the story. I think it actually turned out pretty good, even though there was lots of drama. Next, we will be reading Hamlet, I believe. So yeah. Excited. Bye guys. Thanks for watching.